my name is Kristen and this is my introduction speech for public speaking. This is my note card, front and back. In 1908, star number 48 was added to the U.S. flag to represent Oklahoma. Gas cost 2 cents per gallon, and the mighty Cubs won the World Series for the last time. Now, the Cubs have been quoted the doormat of the National League, but is this truly their fault? No. The Cubs have a strong curse on them, the curse of the GOAT. For more proof, in 1945, the Cubs won the National League pennant. This sent them to the World Series. William Salinas was a Cubs fan, and he wanted to bring his goat Murphy to the game, so he bought an extra ticket. William Salinas and Murphy sat there through 7 innings before the Cubs fans started to complain about the stench of the goat. Salinas and Murphy then got kicked out of the game. Before Salinas left, he yelled, "The Cubs ain't gonna win no more," and then he sent a telegram to the Cubs explaining the curse in detail and how the Cubs would never appear in another World Series. The Cubs then ended up losing that World Series, and Salinas sent another telegram that said, "Who stinks now?" In 1948, the Cubs made it to their first playoffs since the GOAT was kicked out of Wrigley. This was a series of 5, and they were in a demanding 2-0 lead. The third game started, and the Cubs took the lead. Their ace pitcher was on the mound. Then a dark goat-shaped cloud appeared over Wrigley Field. And then the Cubs wound up losing that game and the next 2, kicking them out of the playoffs. In 2003, the Cubs won the first round of the playoffs. So this meant that the curse was over, right? Well, their next game was a series of 7, and they were up 3-1. They had to win one more game. Instead, they lost Game 5 and Game 6. This led them in to Game 7. In the 8th inning, 5 outs away from breaking the curse, a Maryland's player hit a deep ball to the fence. The Cubs player jumped over the fence, but Steve Bartman knocked the ball out of the way, so the Maryland's player ended up on base. Now, the next pitch, the Maryland's player hit the ball to the shortstop. The shortstop could have easily made a double play, but instead, he dropped the ball. The Cubs wound up losing this game, kicking them out of the World Series once again. Now you may ask, why am I so passionate about the curse of the GOAT? That's because I am a huge Chicago Cubs baseball fan. And since I was young, my family and I have been watching Cubs games. We've been playing baseball at family outings, and I have learned as much as I can about the game of baseball. Now my family is not very wealthy, so a ball and a bat was very entertaining, especially to a kid like me. I was able to go to my first Cubs game a couple years ago. My boyfriend knew I was a huge fanatic, so he brought me. This was in the era of the amazing shortstop, Starlin Castro, and Anthony Rizzo, the 2 who went to the All-Star game that year. That made my day, and I was definitely excited. Now one day, that blasted curse will be gone, and I will get the opportunity to watch my favorite team go to the World Series. It has been 107 years, but soon the Cubs will win the series again, and all those generations who missed out will be cheering them on from wherever they may be.